information that you thought went out? That's something that I'm confused about.
Yeah, so we discussed with the board. We were trying to talk about backup proposals, and as of Wednesday morning, I was actually not planning to move forward with this proposal, and then it got out anyway on social media. So at that point, we wanted to own that this was something that we had discussed, but that unfortunately we were still looking at other options and not made a decision at the time to move forward with it. So that's what happened, but at this point, I think the ultimate outcome is we've got more support for North Highland, and I think it's going to be a great year for the kids.
Okay, so you would say that it's not true that people have accused you of trying to sneak this through and failing to properly inform the people in the community. I felt like that was
yeah. As of Wednesday morning, I had told my cabinet and board members that I was not moving forward with this proposal, and Wednesday it got put on social media that we were, and so at that point we at least wanted to come out and say that we had. This is something that we had discussed, and if it was going to move forward, we would need a vote, but we at the time were still looking at other options.
Well, if that was the case, why did you come out Wednesday after this news week and said, look, this is the only option, this is a school in crisis? Why didn't you mention something maybe that it was
Part of it's we rushed really quickly to get a press release out, and what we should have said is the other things that we had been working on. I'm going to own that because we had, if we were going to move forward, had prepared to release it on Thursday and had not written all the press releases, and so part of what we should have done is include the actions and steps we had taken, that we were actively working on, and that we were still looking for candidates, because ultimately nobody wants to close a school. We wanted some great candidates to apply.
Did the vandalism at the school play a role at all in your decision-making process?
The truth is, all I wanted from the very start was to find more applicants for the positions and generate interest in wanting to apply to be part of the solution. I think the vandalism caused a lot more people to possibly consider who maybe hadn't been considering it before, just wanting to be part of doing what's right for that community.
Superintendent Lora, what happened to the Office of Juvenile Affairs demonstration project that was proposed earlier on in the year? I think it was in April.
Yeah, so I will say a lot of groups approach us about wanting to apply for grants, and one of the things that we have to do is make sure that the district has the capacity to meet the requirements of the grant. Usually any grant has a certain number of things that the district has to be able to commit to, and so in this particular situation, it was going to require extra professional development before the staff came back. And one of the challenges is we didn't know whether the people who were going to be working at the school would be able to do the specifics involved with that grant. So it had to do with timing and the fact that almost everyone at the school had resigned, and so part of it's you can't commit someone to working extra days in July if you don't even know who they are and they haven't signed a contract. So because it was before their contract days, this was something where the timing just didn't work out.
Can you talk about why the school's so hard to staff? What's going on at North Highland that so many people are leaving and it's hard to get people in there?
Yeah, this actually isn't an issue that's just about North Highland. It's actually much, much bigger than this. And it's not actually just about Oklahoma City. It's across our state right now. We have a funding crisis. We are losing teachers to nearby states. We do not have enough support. We do not have enough revenue. And the challenges that we're having at North Highland, we're having them at many other schools, and it's going to continue to get worse if this state does not figure out a way to adequately fund education.
So can you talk about the stipends?
Yeah, I mean, so we have reached out and figured out a way to provide some extra stipends because we have a schooling crisis. We are going to need to be able to provide the same thing to other schools at some point in the future, and we're going to work with the union on that. But for us to be able to retain and attract highly qualified staff to many of our schools, our state's going to have to do better in terms of properly paying teachers in Oklahoma.
Thank you.